Hi everyone, my name is Leila and today I want to show you my vanilla fragrances. These are my favorites and I would say these fragrances are mostly about vanilla. Like vanilla is the star of the show in these fragrances. So I have both designer and niche fragrances today, so I hope everyone will find something for themselves. And let's start. I want to start with the classical one, the fragrance that is discontinued, but still I think you can find it in some discounters. It's still available, though it's quite rare and probably a bit pricey. Frankly speaking, I paid around $100 for the small size. I think this is 50 ml or 30 ml probably, but I'm more than happy because this, as a alien lover, I can say that this is a this is one of the best investments that I've made because I love this fragrance. This is Alien Essence Absolue, this beautiful fragrance that is all about alien and vanilla. It's gorgeous. It's creamy jasmine, creamy, a bit balsamic and a bit woody and very vanilla. It's like a vanilla fairy tale in the bottle for me, and it's gorgeous. I love it with all my heart just because, you know, I'm a big fan of Alien, and Alien plus vanilla in this amazing concentration is a magical juice, believe me. So if you love Alien and you are very passionate about Thierry Mugler fragrances, and you like the old formulations, I think $100 is just a very good price for this fragrance because, again, quality wise, the way it smells, the combination of the notes and presentation, everything is just top notch. It's just 10 out of 10. I would say 20 out of 10 for me, definitely. Another Thierry Mugler fragrance is green vanilla. It's a very exotic combination of very green and in some terms even rotten a bit notes, tropical notes, plus very concentrated vanilla. I'm talking about Aura, and I have an EDP. I used to have EDT. I gifted it. It was a bit less concentrated and a bit less controversial, less polarizing. This one is the most polarizing one. It is a creamy green, very green, extremely green, a bit fruity. I can smell strawberry now. It's the first time, by the way, that I smell strawberry in this fragrance, but I think this is a combination of green notes. This liana, I think it also has that synthetic accord that was specially created for this particular fragrance, and I'm afraid it wasn't used in any other fragrances. It was only for in this particular fragrance. It's a tiger liana, I think, and it has lots and lots of vanilla here, and this is the best fragrance for jungle, for humidity, for hot humid climate, which is my type of climate where I live now, because I live in a desert. I live in the UAE, and when it's very humid outside, like when it's 80% humidity, it's like sauna. This fragrance shines, you know, it blooms, and it's very strong fragrance, very noticeable and loud, I would say. But in that weather, when the humidity is very high, it softens a lot, and it stops being annoying, or it can induce headache, by the way. But in this climate, when it's very hot outside, the heat eats the half of this fragrance, I would say. That's why I love it. I love to wear it when it's very hot outside and when it's very humid. I don't know if you remember the ad for Kids of World, when the lady sitting in the reception wearing a beautiful, gorgeous green dress feels bored, and then she leaves that venue and she goes into the corridors and she starts dancing, and that dancing is super emotional, super exotic and somehow even bizarre. And I think this dance and this whole ad 100% reflects this fragrance. It suits this fragrance much more than the Kenzo Whirl, because this is what this fragrance is. Very emotional, green, very loud, very bizarre, I would say. Yes, definitely, and gorgeous at the same time, and not for everyone. It's very polarizing, the same way like the dance of this gorgeous lady, but at the same time it's still beautiful, and you cannot stop looking at her the same way I cannot stop smelling this fragrance. The next fragrance is Tuberose plus vanilla, and this is Arte Olfatto. This is the Italian brand. It's called Tuberose Vanilla or Tuberose Vanille. Yes, Tuberose Vanilla. And you know, I never expected from myself. I was surprised by myself, frankly speaking, when I fell in love with this fragrance. I bought it. It's nice. It's really nice. I bought it in the store. It wasn't the blind buy. I tested many other fragrances from different brands, and this is not my type of fragrance. It's not the fragrance that I'm usually attracted to. However, the guy who was showing me different fragrances said this is my favorite. When I just smelled it, I said, that's okay, that's fine. And I started looking for something more interesting. And then I came back again to that blotter just to, you know, refresh. And I realized that this fragrance is really beautiful. It's not a groundbreaking type of fragrance. It's not a shocking, like something new and wow. But it's really pleasant. And it's good fragrance for every day, I would say. Or probably for every day in a small dosage. But I can see this fragrance mostly for the evenings, year-round, except those very hot days, I would say. But it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, very feminine. It's white flowers mixed with vanilla. And white flowers, yes, the tuberose is a solo here, like it's the first violin, I will say, this orchestra. But it also has jasmine, and it also has other white flowers, you know, juxtaposing around, and you can smell that this is not only tuberose. It definitely has some other white flowers like gardenia also, and it has a woody base, and altogether it's simple, but at the same time not that simple. I always, when I was younger, I thought that this fragrance are for very mature and big ladies, you know, and I didn't see it on me, and I didn't realize the beauty of tuberose fragrances. Now, since I've grown up already, I can see that tuberose is really beautiful if it's framed properly, and I would say this is the case. This is where tuberose framed really well and really nicely, and I like this combination of this white flowers and vanilla. I think I'm now in the stage in the stage where I admire fragrances with tuberose, probably because I'm aging. But anyway, the next fragrance is a very dark, the darkest possible vanilla that I have in my collection. It's a Smoky dark vanilla from Neglige, from the Ukrainian brand, and this is the weirdest vanilla that I have, but it's gorgeous, and it is really an artistic vanilla, I would say. This is like petroleum or oil mixed with burning woods and with lots and lots of vanilla. It is, again, quite a bizarre type of fragrance, really interesting, not for everyone, and probably more masculine than feminine, I would say, but I love it. I love the creaminess of this fragrance. I can still, through all these black layers, can smell that creamy and very naturalistic, like photorealistic vanilla, because this fragrance is packed with essential oils. It's amazing, it's gorgeous. It is like an art house type of fragrance that but it's a wearable art house for me, not for every day. You have to have a mood for this fragrance, but still, I'm wearing it at home and I love it. It lasts forever, by the way. And the next fragrance is from Mancera, and I have 2 fragrances from Mancera in my today's list. This is my recent purchase, and frankly speaking, this particular fragrance inspired me to make a video about vanilla fragrances because I liked it, and I liked it a lot. Though again, this is not a groundbreaking or shocking type of fragrance. It's a very good everyday vanilla for me. I'm talking about black vanilla from Mancera, and this is an interesting fragrance because in the top, the Fragrantica says it has lots of different fruits, like okay, I think it's black currant, it's coconut, it's peach, I think, but I don't smell all those fruits on the top. I can probably somehow say that I can smell some very abstract fruity accord, but I can smell sugar here, definitely, and I can smell vanilla. And vanilla here is, it's not artistic, it's not really creative. It is a very food-like pastry vanilla that I remember from my childhood, and probably that's why I like this fragrance a lot, because again, it reminds me, I have that flashbacks. I didn't realize it straight away. I sprayed this on my gown, and then I hung this gown, and I'm wearing it every day, every morning, like it's my morning plushy gown that I'm wearing when I wake up. And the next day when I was wearing this gown, the first thing that I could smell was the cupboard of my grandma. It's not in a bad way, not at all. It's not because I want to say that this is a vintage type of, grandma fragrance, not at all. No, it's because my grandma used to store her vanilla in a, big, she had a pack of vanilla in a big plastic bag. She used to store it in the same cupboard with utensils, and every time I opened that cupboard, and the fragrance of vanilla it was adorable. I loved it. And I remember that inside that cupboard we had a wooden spoon. It just, the wooden spoon with some beautiful picture of flowers. And sometimes when my grandma cooked some soup for us, like just for fun, I was using that wooden spoon, not because it was comfortable, not at all, just for fun. And every time I use it, I could smell from this wooden spoon the vanilla, that pastry type of vanilla that was already, the spoon already absorbed all that smell. And I think it's forever that spoon smelled like vanilla. And this fragrance in the dry down smells exactly like that. It smells like a cupboard of my grandma. Like, this is the flashback that I had when I just, put on my gown that smelled like the cupboard of my grandma, and it was so pleasant, to go back to that time. Well, again, everything that is, that connects me with that, with the childhood, with the happy memories. Those are the precious moments, and I'm very grateful to the black vanilla for that. So be aware that in the dry down, this is a really very realistic, photorealistic, I would say, pastry vanilla fragrance. You will smell like pastry vanilla. It's not, again, some bitter vanilla or any other sort of artistic vanilla, not at all. It's a pastry, edible, food-like vanilla that is very pleasant, but again, it depends on you if you want to smell like this or no. Just probably because it reminds me of my happy childhood, I want to smell this, definitely. Everyone was talking about how monstrous and nuclear it is. I didn't notice that. Yes, it's very sweet. It's extremely sweet, I would say, especially, well, in all stages, even in the top, in the middle, and then in dry down, it's really sweet. It definitely has lots of sugar, like a bit probably even burnt sugar. However, probably in my climate, because it's quite hot, I don't feel that monstrous performance, you know, for this fragrance. Again, my climate, the heat that we have here, it eats the half or maybe even 2/3 of the fragrances. That's why, again, the Middle Eastern Oriental fragrances are very, very concentrated, because again, the heat destroys, and you know, the fragrances get evaporated really, really fast. The next fragrance is from Molinard, and this is Vanille Patchouli or something like that. And this is a very, very, you know, attractive. I cannot say again that it's groundbreaking or unusual, but very interesting to my nose. Combination of patchouli and vanilla. Yes, they both shine in this fragrance, and they are like arguing with each other who is first. They're like racing who is first. However, I like the way patchouli smells here. They are chocolatey, they are a bit raw, they are earthy, and vanilla here is really prominent and bright. This fragrance in the dry down smells to me like if you have baked cookies. They look like chocolate cookies, and they are very vanillic, but when you bite them you realize that these are the cookies that are made of earth. It's like earthy, chocolatey vanilla cookies. This is how they smell. Like from one side it's edible and looks edible, and you want to eat it because they smell edible, but when you bite them you realize this is not edible at all, because it has that earthy aspect to it. It has that earthy note that you thought was chocolate, but in the real life it's earth. It's lovely. It's lovely. If you can find this fragrance, it's really nice, but you need to love patchouli again, because if you don't like patchouli, it's very realistic here. It's very raw here. It's again damp, a bit wet, like earthy type of patchouli. A bit moldy, I would say even. But again, in the dry down, of course, you cannot feel all the top notes because they're gone. This, again, probably a bit medicinal and not that pleasant aspect of patchouli that not everyone likes, but I do, is gone, and what you are left with is again quite foodsy, quite pleasant, I would say crowd-pleasing type of vanilla, chocolatey vanilla, but with a twist. Again, everything that I like. Yes, this is what I like. This is like a intelligent gourmand, I would say, not that straight away edible. The next fragrance is again from Mancera, and this one it's Oud Vanille, or Oud, yes, Oud Vanille. And this one is also very, very cozy. To me, this is a very cozy type of vanilla, and it is a bit medicinal on the top, by the way. It reminds me, I think probably it has that vanille, because I can smell it here just a little bit. Maybe it's an oak moss that I can smell here. It has definitely the wood. It's very woody. It has, I think, guaiac wood and also oud, like agar oud, and it has a tiny bit of that burnt sugar again. It has saffron. No, it's saffron. It's saffron. It's not the oak moss. It's saffron that I can smell here. That gives that a little bit medicinal aspect. Sometimes I, mix it with vanilla, because the oak moss, this the same like in Baccarat Rouge, it also gives that medicinal aspect. Altogether, I can say I like it because it's very cozy, especially in dry down. It's really nice, and it's absolutely unisex, I would say. Though this fragrance, the Black Mancera, Black Vanilla, I would say it's mostly leading to the feminine side. Well, this one I think is completely unisex, and men easily can wear it. It's all about vanilla and woody notes, a bit of saffron, and oud. It definitely has oud. Not that heavy barnyard, very realistic. No, it's definitely synthetic oud, but very pleasant one. And if you are not a big oud lover, I think you still can pull this because it's not that challenging, not at all. But altogether, very pleasant fragrance, and I love to wear it, especially when it's quite cold outside or when I want to feel cozy inside the house. It's really lovely and it lasts long, though it's not very loud, not at all. The next fragrance is from Atelier Cologne, and this is Vanille Insensee. I love this fragrance. This is a very bright, shiny, positive, woody vanilla. It has nothing to do with an incense. It's very citrusy. It's really, really citrusy, especially on the top. I would say this is a perfect summer type vanilla, like spring and summer vanilla for everyone. It's really a unisex type of fragrance because my husband loves it, I love it, we wear it together. And again, it's a very shiny, bright, yellow, citrusy, sunny vanilla that is gorgeous, really, really nice. I would say the profile of this fragrance is very similar to the next fragrance that I will be talking about. It's the same profile with Ani from Nishane. They are not similar, but they share some similar notes, the most probably because they both are woody, both are about vanilla. However, this fragrance is probably more translucent, it's more sheer. It's not that heavy, it's more, again, like spring and summer and airy type of vanilla. Really nice. It lasts a decent amount of time, I would say. It's not very long lasting, however, I can still smell it within the day, 6, 7, 8 hours. Though it's Cologne Absolue, I would say this is not a cologne concentration, it's more like a toilette concentration. Really, really nice fragrance, I love it. And if I have mentioned Nishane Ani, I will show it, and this is one of my favorite citrusy, woody, spicy vanillas. It's gorgeous, it's just gorgeous. It's really nice. It is not only citrusy like the Vanille Insensee from Atelier Cologne, it's also spicy. It definitely has cardamom and ginger here is very prominent. I can smell it. It's very, very woody, and it's very vanillic, and it's citrusy, and it's yellow. It's definitely like a sun, like a lemon. It's a really positive, again, the fragrance for all year round. Even during the hot days, I can easily wear this fragrance, and I got compliments for this fragrance, and it deserves all the compliments of the world because it's gorgeous and it's long lasting. The performance is amazing, and I love this fragrance. And when I run out of this one, I will definitely repeat it. I will definitely buy another one. And the last but not least for today is my another favorite, is the fragrance I'm obsessed with, the same like Nishane Ani, is Rosendo Mateu No. 5. It's also for me all about vanilla but mixed with amber. This is a very lightweighted molecular, I would say, ambery, sweet, musky vanilla with floral notes. It's so beautiful. It smells, by the way, very unique, and I don't have anything else in my collection that smells like that. And I like that this fragrance, being a bit sweet but at the same time very ambery, floral, vanillic, at the same time it's very airy, molecular, diffusing, without being heavy. It's prominent, you can smell it from yourself, and without being heavy, it leaves a beautiful trail, and I can smell it. You know why I know this? Because my dad used to wear it during one day, like during the whole day. I could smell this fragrance everywhere, but it wasn't annoying. It wasn't that, very heavy trail, like kilometers. No, it was just a beautiful, very airy, but at the same time, something you want to sniff, and you want to follow. Gorgeous fragrance, really, really beautiful, and it worth every single dollar that you spend on it. So don't miss it. If you have a chance to buy first the decant of this fragrance, because they have, not the decant, the small, the miniature, because it's available, like 5 ml or 7 ml, I believe. Go ahead, buy it, try it. I believe I'm sure you will like it. If you like vanilla, if you like amber, if you like this airy, beautiful fragrances, then most probably you'll enjoy it. That's it for today. This was my 10 fragrances. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope they are not very popular, and probably you managed to find something new for yourself. I hope so. If you did, I would be very happy, and I'll appreciate it a lot if you could support my channel with your thumbs up. If you have any of today's fragrances, just let me know what you think about them. If you have any suggestions, you know, if you can suggest any good vanilla fragrances. I am in a constant search, you know, because I really love vanilla, and I never get enough of vanilla in my collection. I want to buy new and new vanilla fragrances. If you have something really nice, sophisticated you can advise, just go ahead and write a comment for me. I will be very happy to read it. And as always, I want to wish you a great week, an amazing weekend, and as always, I hope to see you in my next video next week. See you guys, bye.